I always just want to ask you about football, too. It's not just golf. I mean, come on, give us your analysis. What do you think 2 weeks into this preseason for the Jags?
I actually went to the game on Saturday night, enjoyed it. Thought there were some good moments along the way, but I was just having some fun. I did a lot. I'll be honest, I was chatting a lot more than I was watching, so that's kind of preseason, right?
It was 89 degrees at kickoff, I was saying. It felt much better than that inside the stadium, didn't it?
It did, and I was lucky enough to be in one of the suites. So
it felt really good for you.
72, yeah, it was perfect.
It felt very good. Yeah. Relative to what the weather we've had, it felt pretty nice on Saturday night. Well, I'll stay with football for a moment. Yeah. You've got a quarterback, your team, quarterback battle a little bit. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, obviously grew up a Steelers fan. Yep. Interesting situation up there.
It is. I mean, cleaned house, 3 new quarterbacks in the room. I got to imagine it's Russell Wilson's job, right? I guess maybe the right way to say it is it's probably his job to lose.
I think
if
you're
that
right.
Makes sense. Justin, obviously huge upside, much younger. Legs are there. I feel like that's the future probably, but Russell with the veteran status, and we'll see. I heard you guys talking about your athletic ability versus team room. Like, what's it like inside the team room? And I think that's probably right. That's probably what everyone's asking about Russell right now. And so, if he becomes a really good leader in Pittsburgh, it's his job, I believe.
You live in the sports arena, right? And your caddy-player relationship and maybe just other relationships, it's a little bit different because I know you're not like full 53 guys in a room, but I told Austin this last week, I just can never get over the quarterback room in sports. I think it's the most unique thing. There's one position to play. These are ultra competitive guys, as you know, from the world you live in. Yep. I don't think we can relate to how competitive they really are and want to play and want to win, yet very cordial and very good teammates most of the time in that room. I think they should do like 30 for 30s on that room. Now, I'm sure there's some great stories about not being great teammates, but it's the most interesting dynamic to me, maybe in sports.
And very few times have any of those people in that room ever sat on a bench, right? They're all elite level, even back up in the NFL, but they were stars in college. They were stars in high school. So it's unique, but it's interesting. With that, you see a lot of friendships, and I think that's the team atmosphere. And we get it a little bit in golf from, say, a President's Cup, Ryder Cup. We have the President's Cup coming up. So these guys try to beat each other's brains out all year, and then we throw 12 guys on a team, and all of a sudden they're pulling for each other, helping each other, teaching shots around the greens. It's really a cool atmosphere and something I always enjoyed in my career. But I was listening. I was listening to, we always talk about, like with our picks, all right, who's the great team room guy? Who's the guy that lifts everyone else up, makes everyone else better, and those are the kind of folks you want in your team room, in your quarterback room.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to win a team sport event. Jim Furyk with us, and let's talk about why we're here. Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K at Timuquana Country Club, and man, this thing's really taken off. I was talking to Adam a little bit earlier, who's tournament director. 24 new partnerships. I think you have a handful of new fan events and things opening up to those folks that will be a part of this here at Timuquana coming up this fall. Got to be pretty proud of what you guys have done so far.
Yeah, I'm really proud of our team. It's I earlier said to someone, it's like kind of like cooking Thanksgiving dinner, right? Your mom works on it all week, and everyone eats it in about 15 minutes, and it's done. Well, I'm proud of our team because it's 51 hard weeks of work throughout the year. And it all culminates, the first week of October. And so they do an amazing job. We've got some great partners. Constellation's our title sponsor. They're here with us today. Circle K is our presenting sponsor. But as you mentioned, all the corporate partners here through our community, all the fans in our community that have supported this event, it's allowed us to kind of raise the level for our foundation. We're in the last 3 years, we've been able to raise $3.5 million for charity with this event. So we're very thankful, very blessed. And we're still going to continue to have some fun. Like you said, we've got some new fan experiences this year, and we want folks to have a good time. We want them to golf's the vehicle. Come out and watch some Hall of Famers and the best players in the world, but we want you to have a good time. There's going to be some good food. There's going to be some drinks, cocktails, music. We have a couple concerts, and so come out, enjoy yourselves. Just a general admission ticket. There's all kinds of wonderful things to do. So we're going to increase our kid zone and the zoo, and so any age, come on out, come see what we're doing. It's a fun time.
At a beautiful venue, of course, but you're right. I mean, golf has kind of made this transition. Maybe it hasn't, but maybe it just feels like it, that it's not just serious golf all the time. The majors are very serious, but then we have different events, right? Different venues. And then, of course, this tour, really, you can get intimate with the stars. And so I think people have this perception sometimes of like everything's a U.S. Open, right? You're trying to raise that trophy and win the most important tournament of your life. There are different feels of golf tournaments around the country and around the different tours. And this tour especially, you get a chance to get as intimate as maybe any other.
The Champions Tour is different. We get a wonderful crowd here, maybe say 10,000 people a day. Totally different than the Players' Championship.
That's right.
So it is an intimate, smaller group, and that's a big crowd for us. But our guys, I think we realize that there's no senior tour for the Jaguars, right? They're not getting out there, and so we're lucky. We're still competing.
I wouldn't want to watch that.
We're still ultra competitive. We still want to win golf tournaments. But the guys out here realize how blessed they are, and so the pro-ams are a lot more fun. Guys play with the crowd during the round, throw stuff to kids, and really enjoy kind of the blessing that we have, that we're able to compete over the age of 50 and have a great time with it. And so, as you mentioned, yes, it's a little bit more fun. I think our guys love this tournament because our players. A couple years ago, we were voted the players' favorite tournament here on the tour. They like it because, one, we do get a lot of folks that show up. 10,000 people. It feels like a big event. But there's all kinds of stuff going on around the golf course, and the fans there's a buzz. There's fans having a good time. There's a cocktail party on R17, the usual number 8 here at Timuquana Country Club. Circle K's got a party porch, and beers are reduced when we make birdies. So the guys just have a good time interacting with the crowd and having fun. And maybe we didn't do that as much when we were 25 when we were trying to make a name for ourselves, but now it's a different crowd, like you said.
Well, it's a little bit of staying young and staying connected, too, sure. I think, right? You certainly appease the golf fan. You appease the maybe older fan with some of those setups that you were talking about. But now you just mentioned the kids zone and other things.
Sure.
And you've got something coming in this year that's been confirmed. Details still being worked out, but Good's going to be a part of this thing. And I'll tell you this,
about that.
My kid watches about 4 hours of that a day.
It's unreal. I'm excited to see them coming out. We're not exactly sure what they're doing format-wise yet. We're trying to work it out, but I mean, on YouTube, I think they've got like 1.6 million subscribers. I mean,
incredible.
It's a great opportunity for us to kind of introduce what we're doing to a larger crowd, and hopefully they have a great time and have some fun with it. And I'm excited to kind of finish up my round on Saturday and then turn around and head back and see how much I can catch of them clowning around and having a good time.
How is the golf game? How's the health? How you feeling? I know you're balancing a bunch of different things at this stage of your career.
Yeah, no excuses. My health is okay. It's not great. I'm not really in any pain. I'm not hurting, but I'm having a hard time getting my strength. I'm a little weak in my right side and my hip from my back. But my game hasn't been very good. No excuses. I haven't played very well this year. If anyone's paying attention, they can see that. They can see the scores I'm shooting, and it's not. I still enjoy competing, but I'm a little frustrated right now, and I'm trying hard. I'm working hard to get my game back. But as you mentioned, I got a lot of things going on as well. A couple golf course design projects. I'm the captain of the U.S. captain of the President's Cup team this year, and so my mind on all my practice this week on Saturday and Sunday was early in the day, and then I'm kind of glued to the TV and checking out how my team's playing, how the guys are playing, things are forming up. That team takes place. The top 6 automatic qualifiers happen next week after BMW, and basically 2 weeks from tomorrow, I make my captain's picks. So we have a team that'll be formed here very shortly, which I'm excited about.
Are you transitioning in your? You're doing so much. You're now kind of giving back to the game in a sense with this tournament, with the President's Cup, with everything else. I mean, are you in that phase, or do you still feel like, hey, I got a little more. I mean, look, we got to see a guy like Billy Horschel from last year to what he's doing, competing. Sure. And I know he's younger, but he's still a local guy, and he's top 10 yesterday. Again, he found his game. That's the way golf works sometimes.
Right. I think healthy, I can get my game back and get to that top level that I was at, say, 2 or 3 years ago. 3 years ago, really. But I'm also at a stage, and I think there's a transition. The giving back, as you said, is this event and the charitable dollars that we're able to raise. I think for me too, getting a little bit more excited about golf course design. Like I said, I've got 2 courses going right now. One's new, one's a renovation here in town, Glencairn Golf and Country Club, and I've really enjoyed that as well and that work. And so, I think that's part of giving back too. I mean, we're not going to be on this planet forever, unfortunately. So maybe some golf courses left behind that kind of the style of golf that I like and what I've kind of learned from traveling the world. Maybe I could leave a few really nice courses around the country here that folks could play forever.
Well, it's going to be exciting and invigorating for you as well to do that. Glenn Kernan, you mentioned, kind of revamped. And by the way, that's like a Live PGA Tour collaboration. A little Cam Smith, I think, part of that.
Yes,
that's like the first Live PGA Tour collaboration we know about.
I'm making sure that he has fun from some back tees. We refer to it as when I'm doing work with my architect, we refer to them as Cam's tees and Jim's tees. Jim's tees are definitely farther ahead than Cam's tees, without a doubt.
You love. We talked a couple months ago when you were doing that. You were on the tractor. I mean, when you are helping design that, right?
I'm helping design it. I'm not on equipment moving dirt.
Okay.
That's a really unique skill and an artist, and we have a contracting company that does that. But I work with a golf course architect that's been in the business for 40 years.
Yeah.
I kind of bring a little bit to the table with my travels and what I like to see in a golf course, and so it's been a great partnership with him. His name's Mike Beebe, and then the gentleman that's on the tractor, he's the artist, right? You kind of design it and put it on paper in 2 dimensions, and he gets to go out there and play in the dirt and kind of create what you see. And so, and you work with them closely on how you want it to finish. So it's been a lot of fun.
Jim Furyk hanging out with us, talking football, talking golf, really talking Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, coming up here this fall once again. Fantastic event. We'll tell you how you can get tickets and everything else in just a moment, but we're going to let Jim go in a couple moments to the news conference. You mentioned the President's Cup. I can see it when I watch it on TV. I can see it in your face, but the pride. You and Tabitha have talked about being a part of those teams from Ryder Cup to President's Cup. Can you kind of put into words, kind of just layman's terms of what it means to represent your country in that way?
I played team sports growing up. I played football, basketball, and baseball. Some of my best friends still to this day are guys I played basketball with in high school. And there's just something about, we play an individual sport, but there's something about pulling together, coming together, and accomplishing something as a group. You always have those bonds and those friendships and those moments. And so, representing our country, wearing the flag on your shirt, having millions upon millions of Americans, rooting for you and pulling for you is a wonderful feeling. And I just go back to what I said earlier, the sharing of shots and secrets, and just to be standing over a putt late in the day, and you're leaning on your putter, you're nervous, and you look out and your whole team is congregated together. They're excited, they're nervous, they're pulling for you. You just don't get that feeling on a weekly basis on our tour. And so those weeks are special. And these guys that we probably have 6 guys are pretty much pulled away. They're almost done with the automatic qualifying. There's 6 other guys, there's 12 other guys that are dying to get a spot on this team. And so my goal each and every year when I started the tour was to make the President's Cup team or the Ryder Cup team. That was goal number 1 every year. And it's on one sense, it's a bummer that I'm not going to get to play in those 2 events anymore, but it's really been an honor to serve kind of as an assistant captain, a vice captain, or now the captain of the team. I told the guys in a meeting last week in Memphis, like we were talking about, and I said, what's so cool about this is I've played 3 or 4 times for Jack Nicklaus in the President's Cup. Now Jack's kind of in his mid to late 80s right now, and I'm going to have kids on this team that are in their early 20s. I'm almost getting close to 70 years of golf that these teams have kind of connected for me.
Pretty neat.
And got to make some really great friends with it. So that's what I cherish the most.
They call you captain, coach, Jim? What do they call you?
I get cap a lot.
Do you?
I get cap a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah, especially if they need a pick. I get that a lot.
That's pretty good. All right, let's circle back to Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K. Before you go, here's the events. All the way the week prior, September 29th, Operation Shower. You guys have done a phenomenal job with that. And again, a lot of love to Tabitha, your wife, who's done a fantastic job helping with all these events. The Monday Pro-Am, Furyk Foundation concert at Daly's Place. This has really been pretty cool. I know it's a different venue than right here. Yep. Brothers Osborne going to be at Daly's Place.
Yep, and Philip Phillips is joining in the Open. So,
awesome.
Wonderful concert.
Wednesday Pro-Am, got a lot of Pro-Ams on the Champions Tour.
2,
right?
Wednesday and Thursday, both days, absolutely.
And then round 1 is on October 4th, and it's a 54-hole event with somebody walking off a big winner that weekend. So good luck. We'll keep telling everybody about it and how you can find it, but come on out. Look at the venue. I mean, that's the backdrop. The golf course is just as good.
One of the best views in town, isn't it?
And
it's quite amazing.
And I didn't ask you about this, but you're expecting a really good field, I assume.
We are. Ernie Els is leading the Schwab Cup, number one. He's committed. We have our defending champ, Brett Quigley. But, yeah, you'll see the best players on the Champions Tour here. And we get old. Every once in a while, a guy gets dinged up or hurt. But for the most part, you're going to see the best players over 50 in the world here. And we've got so many Hall of Famers on our tour, so it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Jim Furyk.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work, man. And good luck with that President's Cup as well.